Hi everybody, it's Deb from Deb's RV Services and welcome to today's video. I'm a certified inspector and a registered technician, and today I have an inspection story for you. I have a client that contacted me, and she is a retired nurse and she was looking for adventure. She had found a 2025 Thor Compass, which is a B+ RV, and it was cute as a button. In fact, I even took some video of it and sent it to my mom, like hint, hint, maybe you want one of these. And so she hired me to do a full premiere inspection with a report so that she could make sure that she was going to be safe on the road and that everything worked as it should before she took ownership of it. So I was happy to help her, and the dealership was already okay for an inspector to come on the lot. So I even got information from her to contact the salesman, and we spoke and he assured me everything was going to be ready for me. So I arrived that morning and it sure was. It was La Mesa RV in Mesa, Arizona, and I am giving them a shout out because they were wonderful to work with. As an inspector, I had a great experience. Everything was hooked up and ready to go. And again, it was one of those really hot days and they allowed me to come early. They allowed me to come at 8 in the morning, and I was really thankful for that because as the day goes on, it gets hotter and hotter, and by 11 or 12 it's like unbearable there. So I arrived and I started my inspection. I did find about 7 items that I needed to put in my report that needed to be repaired by a technician. One of the things I found was a hole in the sealant around the skylight, and this is really important that gets repaired because if you have a rainfall and it gets in that hole, then you are going to start water damage. Another thing I found was the screen door wouldn't shut all the way. So there was some type of missing latch that wouldn't allow it to close, so that needed to be repaired as well. Another thing that I do is I always look at tire pressure along with the DOT, and then I compare what the pressure is in the tires to the pressure that is recommended by the manufacturer, which you usually find along the trim in the driver's door area. So I compare that, and then I note in the report that please make sure that all the pressure in the tires are according to what the manufacturer recommends. Something else that I found was a dirty passenger seat. It was probably from a technician working on it, but I wanted to point it out because if the dealership didn't clean that wouldn't be very nice for my client to step in her brand new 2025 RV and have a dirty passenger seat. So I made sure I put that in my report as well. There was also a loose screen in the bedroom, so I put that in my report so that could be fixed and placed properly. When I looked around the slide, there was a bolt that was loose. It was in there, but it was in there crooked. It wasn't flush. Now I point those things out because that can also be an area where water intrusion can get in. And if you have any kind of loose bolt, a bolt that's not in all the way, it can loosen over time as you're going down the road, and I wouldn't want that to happen to my client where either she got water damage in there or the bolt came out. So I always look at bolts and make sure, especially when they're right out from the manufacturer, because those are some of the things that happen when they're brand new. There's always things like missing bolts or loose bolts that I find. So I really look carefully at all that. But really, it was just about 7 items that I found. They weren't deal breakers. They weren't huge red flags. Now they would be if she would have taken that RV without getting that fixed. That could turn into a big problem. So it's really good and recommended to get even the brand new RVs inspected. Now her experience at this dealership, I did find out, was amazing. She told me that she had a wonderful time picking up the RV, that her salesman was absolutely wonderful to deal with. The dealership was wonderful. They completed all the repairs. So I'm very happy to hear that. It's like a breath of fresh air for me to be able to report that my client had a really good experience, because I don't always find that. I still have other clients right now that I did inspections for prior to hers that are still waiting for their RV because the dealership is, I don't know what, they're not getting it done. And they're not having a good experience. They're very frustrated. So to hear this is wonderful, and I like to report the good and the bad. So this is a shorter video for you, but I wanted to let you know that I did this inspection. It turned out well. My client is happy, and I'm happy. So I will see you guys during the middle of the week when I do an episode of Deb's Corner. But until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.